Hey everyone, welcome to Jabbering Jawas podcast with your host Joey Clark and,
Will, the Thrill, Stafford.
or as we go by around here, Joey One Kenobi and Will Sith. We have a very special guest today.
Me. What's up, everybody? I'm Chris Scevoli. I'm from the ScevoliTanoShow, your favorite white boy, where Star Wars gets weird. And it does. Right, Joey? It gets weird on our show.
It gets really weird on your show, Chris. And then to all Padawans under the age of 18, either put those earbuds in, get the fuck away from your parents, or just turn it off, because we will be swearing and saying a bunch of bad stuff, especially since Chris is here today. He's going to make me really say some fucked up shit. So make sure you guys are all prepared for the chaos that's about to ensue. Of course, we got Mandalorian. What is it? Chapter 12. I can't believe it's like I'm reading a fucking book.
Episode 4.
Episode 4 of season 2, chapter 12. It's all the same shit. What'd you guys think? Overall, first thoughts.
You want to go first, Will, or you want me to go?
I'll go.
Okay.
So, I mean, I like the episode. I think all the episodes this season have been good. I think episode 3 is still my favorite so far. They'll probably change in the next one, but from what we said in our last, episode, it's pretty much exactly what we said was going to happen, right? He's going to have to stop off to fix his ship because it's fucked up. And he's going to meet up with Karga and Cara Dune again. The only thing that I found really interesting and might throw a wrench in something else we said about them forming a crew is that they run that whole area now. Like Cara Dune and Karga, so it's like
Marshall.
Yeah, I'm like, are they just gonna be able to leave? Like, So that's interesting. And I was right that blue guy was gonna come back. I saw him in that.
Yeah, the blue fish dude, the blue fish guy, we call him.
Well, there's only a blue person. I'm not gonna lie. I think I kind of like him, to be honest. I know you're not a big fan of how he looks. Yeah, and I was hating on the frog lady, but I think he's the annoying character in the crew that this story needs, And honestly, I like him better than Jar Jar or I'm trying to think who else. There was nobody in the original trailer. Everybody was awesome. Nobody was annoying, but I don't know who in the sequels rather than Rose. I don't know. Somebody to choose from. Finn in the last one, the yelling, what's her name's name all the time? But yeah, I enjoyed the episode overall. I thought it was fun that they went into, that facility and found the whole lab and everything. And I have speculations about that. We can talk about that later. But go ahead, Chris. What did you think of the episode?
Well, I think the episode's called The Siege, and there was no siege. There wasn't the Siege of Mandalore where we fucked everything up. So it was like, yeah, bitches, I'm here, and bo-katan kicking shit in. That's not what this was. It wasn't that siege. It was a siege, but it wasn't the biggest, I don't think, siege in Star Wars history.
Kind of stuck around, really.
Yeah, it didn't there wasn't there's a lot of battles. There was a lot of guns blazing, but that's it. There wasn't a lot of stormtroopers around. This the facility they were in, there wasn't everything was guarded. No, it wasn't really guarded. You could have just walked in there, just shot some stormtroopers and then went on with your business. But for me, the episode was a side story.
Mm-hmm.
This episode wasn't a filler. It's a side story, I call it, because a filler episode, just like with the frog lady, we have to get somewhere with the frog lady, and that's a filler. We got to get somewhere. We got to drop her off. That was a filler. But with this recent episode, The Siege, it was a side story to bigger things. Now we see the beacon tracking, if I said that even right, on the Razor Crest. Now he's heading off to Ahsoka Tano. This is where he's going, so I feel like Moff Gideon is going to follow him there. This is my theory, that he's going to follow Mando there, and Moff is not going to know about Ahsoka Tano. I don't think anyone knows in this era of time knows about if the Jedi are still alive or even if they're out there. We don't know. Maybe some are, but we don't really know. Stuff like that. I think it's leading to the First Order too. This episode, like it's getting deeper, gonna be deeper into the next maybe couple seasons left of the Mandalorian about the First Order and who runs it. I think there's someone above Moff Gideon that we do not know yet. And Baby Yoda is an asset that they want for some reason. And I don't know why. I think they took a lot of blood. Like they said, they took a lot of blood from the child, and you couldn't take a lot more blood because then it would die. So he had to stop. I don't think Baby Yoda is a clone. I think they're cloning him. I think they're getting blood and they're cloning him.
They're
but
trying.
They're trying. But I think this episode was a good episode. Everybody's a marshal now. Everybody's like a captain, or like we're gonna be deputies soon. Baby Yoda's gonna have a little hat on, smoke a little cigar. He's just gonna like yippee ki yay, motherfuckers. He's just gonna go right for it. But like back to also the school. The school was a big part. And Baby Yoda using the Force to have some macaroons. He wanted those blue macaroons, and then he goes on a little roller coaster at the end of the episode, throws up, and was like, yeah, let's go find this Jedi now. I'm ready. I had my meal. Mando doesn't feed me well, but I've had my meal, but the episode was good. I give it like an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
I bet once Walt Disney World is like open to full on capacity and Disneyland actually opens the fuck up, they're gonna have space macaroons or Baby Yoda fucking Galaxy's Edge. But this episode, I had very mixed feelings going in and out because it sets up a lot of great stuff. I predicted that they were gonna show fucking laboratories at some point because I knew that there has to be some connective tissue with what happens. My biggest fear with the Mandalorian now going forward, because they've established that they're recognizing that 7 through 9 was not planned. So how do you connect this series with something that wasn't quite planned and just hashed together? Whereas Favreau and Filoni, like, I don't want them to have to do a lot of heavy lifting because the sequel trilogy to me already is fucking dead in my mind because it was shit and it didn't deserve my time or appreciation. They didn't plan it. I don't really give a fuck about it anymore. So part of me is like, I'm glad they're doing it, and it's cool because I know the Emperor had secret laboratories, and that was established in other stuff like Battlefront 2, the game, the storyline, or whatever. So I'm glad for that reason because it's calling back to that. I don't really give a shit about seeing the First Order anymore because it's like the sequel trilogy took place in like a year or two within the Star Wars timeline, so it doesn't seem like that big of a deal. So I don't want them to do too much to that because I really don't give a fuck. And then I am really curious to know what the hell those things were at the very end. I think they're dark troopers or their interpretation of dark troopers.
Yeah, I put in my notes, I think they were dark troopers, or I think I put dark, maybe said shadow troopers or something like that.
Yeah, Joey texted me that when after we watched the episode. Like, oh, are those dark troopers? I was like, you know what, let me check. And I was looking them up, and I literally like looked at that frame for, and I kid you not, like maybe 30 minutes. I should have been going to bed. I was looking for like 30 minutes, just like I was looking at every single piece of like these, and there's like definitely certain parts on those things, but they're definitely they have to be their interpretation of those. Like they have to be, because I was looking at how they were, like the size of them, the way that their armor looks, and everything, and it looks like they're just lined up like robots, and that's what they were. They were just robotic.
Yeah, so you're talking about the shadow troopers then?
Yeah, the heavy shadow troopers.
Well, because shadow troopers are the ones where it's actual people, but they just have reflective invisibility. Dark troopers, the first ones were like clones that they put cybernetics on, then they got more and more like Terminator-like. So I'm like thinking in my head, they bring these motherfuckers to Ahsoka and she has to battle basically stormtrooper Terminators. Please, like, I would love to
that.
see that.
Yeah. That would also explain how Moff Gideon might actually get the child. Because I'm like, Moff Gideon can't be that, like, because we think that he might have force powers. But he can't be that powerful. He's going to be Ahsoka. So it's like, if he brings a bunch of those, then it's possible that he could overwhelm them enough to get the child and like get out of there. So I'm like, okay, I could possibly see that. Because like, how if he's going to Ahsoka, how is he gonna possibly get the child at some point? You know, so that could be it. Because they don't know about the Shadow Troopers, the Dark Troopers, and he doesn't know about Ahsoka. So it definitely could be some crazy stuff coming on pretty soon.
That's definitely. I feel even with Ahsoka coming up in this next episode, like, what's gonna happen? Like, what is like? We know she'll be in this episode because I think it's named like rumors. Like when after that this episode, the seeds like got done. They were like, oh, the next episode's chapter 13. It's called the Jedi, and we're like, okay, that makes sense. You know, Dave Filoni's directing it and stuff like that. But we were like, so I looked at it and I was like, okay. Now I looked at my notes. I looked at the Mandalorian. I was like, okay. I bet you Moff Gideon will go to this far forsaken planet of forests, you know, and find Mando and the child, and Ahsoka's going to have to help them escape, or Ahsoka escapes with them, you know. And with Ahsoka, it's going to be good. We'll get into it later, but it's going to be good.
But
yeah, go ahead.
and then just still going on to this episode because I can't wait till we speculate. I think the one thing is a little disappointing to me is Cara Dune. I just felt like the performance felt really flat until the end, and like I don't know what's up because I mean I know she's a fairly new actor, Gina Carano, um, but I don't know, something about this episode just seemed really off with her, and then I'm really trying to figure out where all these pieces are going to end up landing because I mean Will and I've had this conversation where we want to see Mando have a crew because it seems I get Mandalorians, especially now, are kind of to themselves, but I feel like you need more than just Mando and Baby Yoda to keep carrying this series. And then the fact that those two are now basically running the planet is like, well, then what the hell? Like, so a lot of it is like, I'm just kind of wondering where these pieces are going to fall. So, and I know the story, it's just midway through, but that's kind of the confusing part. And I was a little underwhelmed thinking about it. And I was really thinking to myself, I'm not a kid anymore, so there's only so much. And with Will and I being screenwriters and really being in, it's very rare for something to really impress the hell out of me. So I get that. So it is kind of weird, and I think it's also the fact that this is the only Star Wars we're getting, and it's not bad. It's just I'm kind of in this middle moot point of like what can be really, really good then. So I don't know.
I will say I agree with you with Cara Dune. Their performance on this one was a little. I don't know if I'd say flat. It's just it was hard for me to believe that she was like the marshal. I guess I don't know what it was like. It just didn't feel right to me, and I was like, I feel like there's gonna be something that just happens, and they're just gonna have to leave, and then she'll be more in a role like as a part of his crew that to me makes more sense. I think it's honestly just the choice to make them like running this planet. I don't see her as that kind of character, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like she seems more to me like somebody who's gonna like kind of stay to herself and like do her own thing rather than try to take care of other people. I mean, maybe Karga, he would like, take advantage of that and be like, oh yeah, I want to run this and, be able to oversee things. For her, I don't know. Like, I think that was kind of part of it. Like, it was just kind of a weird position that she was in. I don't know. That's how I felt.
I think she was good. Like I don't complain, but you guys know more because you guys are screenwriters, right?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
For sure.
But sure. No, I think she was all right. Like I didn't mind her. I don't mind Cara Dune at all. I think she's a tough character, And I think when you write her character, she's not always going to be happy. You know, she's not going to be skipping through with frogs and like throwing flowers up in the air. No, I think when you write her character has been through a lot. You know, we just don't know what she's been through. We know she was on Alderaan. She lost everybody at the end of the episode. The guy offers her a job. I think she'll definitely take it. You know, I think that's where she leaves. Like Will was saying, like she's gonna go off somewhere, you know, or stay in Navarra with Grief. But yeah, I think she's definitely gonna join that guy. What's his name? Captain Tava? Tava, I think his name is.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. I think she's definitely going to join the Alderaan crew, not the Alderaan crew, but like the X-Wings or the Republic or something like that. But yeah, I think Cara Dune is all right. Like she's not my favorite character, so I don't care. You know, she was all right. But she's a badass character, and we all know like she has something going on that we do not know about, or maybe she does. Is she related to someone? You know, is she related to Princess Leia or Bail Organa? You know, is she related to anybody that she lost on Alderaan? Like, we don't know her story. But yeah, I think that's her. I think she was good this episode. You know, she was all right. I don't give her a 10. You know, but I'll let it be.
Yeah, I mean, I will say I am all for hearing more about like Alderaan and everything, and just kind of what other people did on there, and just like what it was like before it got blown up and everything. And I'm sure there's probably plenty of comics or books or whatever that talk about it, but
if you really want to read one, read it's the Leia novel by Claudia Gray. I think it's just called Leia, Princess of Alderaan. It really kind of paints a picture of what Alderaan is.
Oh well.
Yeah. Okay.
Claudia Gray.
So I almost wonder if you read stuff like that, there might be like some sort of clue. Like maybe there's like I don't know that if you remember, were there any like other like families there or something that were kind of affluent? Like maybe Cara Dune could have been part of that. Like, do we even know if her real name is Cara Dune or not? Like, what if she just
right?
Cara Cynthia Dune. So I'm guessing that is her real name, but I think I don't like, and I remember the book pretty well. The only thing I could think that it might possibly be a connection to is Bail Organa and Bria Organa, Leia's adopted parents. They had friends on Alderaan and stuff where they'd host like secret meetings and stuff. So maybe Cara Dune's parents were part of that secret meeting, and that's why she felt like she needed to join the rebellion. That's the only thing I can really think of, but nothing like concrete that like, oh yeah, she's this person's whatever. No, I want to know more about her, and I don't know, maybe the direction was just a bit off this time. And I know a lot of people have been giving Gina Carano a lot of hatred, and
I see.
And I've seen, and I get it to a little bit of a degree, but it's because most people aren't reading everything. I feel if more people read what actually happened, they'd be more inclined to just give her the benefit of the doubt, because I get that she said some controversial things. I do. But everyone in their lifetime has, if you look at them with a microscope. They just do it to celebrities to get whatever reaction they want. And I don't think it's completely fair. I do feel bad. And anyone that I've heard has interacted with her, fans from all different backgrounds, she's always been super cool and sweet. So I'm not going to judge her until I actually see something where it's like, oh, she's an evil woman. Like, give her a break, everybody. Like, she's not that much compared. But I'm trying to think of what else. I gotta say that one, like the ending scene with the Mando and the Razor Crest, though, against those TIE fighters, like, I fucking loved that game of like flying chicken. Like, and then maybe Yoda throwing up the fucking cookies was cool too. But that was awesome.
He had the time of his mind. My child is in good hands right now. Just so we all know, he is having a blast on the Razor Crest and having some blue macaroons. Like, people who make macaroons, get ready. Blue macaroons are going to be like coming soon. You know, Like, I don't know why you have macaroons in Star Wars. Never thought of that, But
it's funny that you bring that up because honestly, I was looking at those and I'm like, I'm glad that you like kind of confirmed to me. I'm like, those look a lot like macaroons. These look like macaroons. No,
I didn't know what they were either.
I was wondering if it was like something like just like different that they tried to make, but I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure those are just blue macaroons. And I almost wonder, I'm like, if they're just gonna like start selling them and like, their parks or something. I feel like they put things in there sometimes where they're like it's like with the blue milk and stuff, It's like
definitely,
we have this and we're gonna start selling that, or they like put these little macaroon things in there. They can just sell them at their store there. I feel like they definitely insert some things in there nowadays, especially where they're like, oh yeah, we can definitely sell that. Oh yeah.
I could definitely get away with that. We'll just put Baby Yoda a picture of him eating macaroons, and people love it, love it, love it, love it.
Yes.
But yeah, with that scene was very badass. Like, it was like, and then like he can fly. Like, Mando is a good pilot. I might not say he's an Anakin Skywalker pilot. No way. But he's a good ass pilot. Like, he can get away from ships. He can maneuver away from things. He's good. Even with Baby Yoda fixing some of his thing. In the back in the first scene.
Oh yeah.
Little Baby Yoda, he doesn't even know how to put red and blue together. Like, come on, don't do that to my baby. Don't do that.
that scene was definitely that's one of my favorite just like dog fights or just flying scenes in general, like in the Mandalorian. I just love that maneuver he pulled where he like went all the way up, like cut his like power off to turn around and just go straight at it, and he fucking spun around so he would miss. I was like, damn, okay, that's pretty badass. Like, that whole scene was just well done, and they've been putting together some pretty good more like action sequences in this season. I mean, the first season too. That's definitely the main thing in the Mandalorian. I think they've done a really good job of, and that I was worried about when they first talked about it, because obviously it's a TV show, and sometimes you get TV shows and they'll have kind of corny looking fight scene and stuff, but these have been having they've had like movie quality shit, so I got to give them credit. Like, they've done a good fucking job with these.
They have. They've been doing good. Proud of them. Proud of you people, Lucasfilm. But stop killing my baby. Stop trying to kill my baby. That's the only thing I got to say about Lucasfilm. If you try to kill him one more time, I will swear to God, I will come to you and find you all.
Call CPS. Hey, he's trying to kill
I mean, technically he's 50 years old, so
he's 50 years old, and he can't talk yet. He just says, "Huh?"
Yeah.
And that's it.
I was thinking about that though when he was in the classroom. Like, he's the oldest one. He's the oldest one here out of all these kids, which is hilarious.
But
and that whole scene was
he has no hair on his head. He has no hair on his head.
Yeah. Because I'm assuming that Yoda had hair at some point, because he has little like, pieces of hair,
What
is little puffballs.
What did you guys think of that wiring thing in the beginning?
The what? Oh, the wiring thing. Oh yeah, he was just talking about that. It was kind of a cute little moment, but I think it's also, I mean, I thought that he was actually going to be able to do it, but
really,
yeah, I thought maybe he would get it. I was like, perhaps he'll, and then he can use him for these kind of things, but he didn't.
To me, like, it was a cute moment. Like, it's like father trying to teach son, but I was also thinking in my head, Mando. This is a fucking baby, and you want him to be an electrician right now? Like,
I mean, that's who he is, though. We talked about this. He's a badass. Mando is really cool, but he makes bad decisions sometimes. Like, he ran towards a bunch of stormtroopers with blasters, and he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna run over here and throw these things." Like, he makes bad decisions. Like,
well, he did it for the good of the group. It's not like he thought, like, this is my master plan, guys.
Yeah.
But the one thing that I'm kind of curious about is, like, I wonder if that's just how he was raised. Like, they made him do hard shit when he was young then. Like, hey, you ever clean a blaster or take it apart and put it together? Like, that's what I'm kind of curious about. Like, I'd like to see a little more flashback or explanation of how he was raised. And the other thing, too, is, like, now that he knows or has heard this thing from bo-katan about, like, he's a different kind of Mandalorian, I want to start seeing that play out where he questions himself, and I feel Ahsoka is probably going to be one of the ones to tell him about it.
Mm-hmm.
With
Maybe.
that, what was I gonna say? With like the going leading up to Bo-Katan, Bo-Katan takes off her helmet and he's like, he just shit his pants when they took it off. I was like, shit, what? This is like what we're doing now. This is like what we're doing now. We're just taking off our helmets. But you see it maybe when he was drinking the soup, like he lifted his helmet up a little. Like you saw his chin a little. I don't know if it was Din's. I don't know if it was Petro or someone else's. Um, but you see it a little. So maybe that's the opening that he might just take off his helmet.
I also think it's because technically it's just him, and I mean obviously we're watching, but it's just him and the child. So he's like, oh, I don't think it matters if I. It's like he took his helmet off around the robot, last season, because it's like, oh, it's just a robot. And he's like, oh, it's just a child. It's not gonna matter. I'll take it off. Because I think even when he was in that village, didn't she like try to get him to take his helmet off for like some like reason, like to eat or to drink or something? He's like, oh, I can't take it off.
Yeah, he did take his helmet off though, but we didn't see his face. He did take it off.
Oh, right. He went to like a different room or something, right? Like just separate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he
I
says
can't do it in front of you. Yeah.
Because I mean, even she asked him, what do you call it? She asked him when's the last time he took it off, and he said this morning. And then she said in front of a person, it's like, oh, probably when I was about their age. But and then in this episode, didn't he lift it a little bit too in front of the kid? Like I thought it was because I thought like part of it looked like almost like a face mask was coming off versus him lifting his helmet.
Yeah, I think he's fine. He's pretty, and then there's probably stuff that happens off screen, but I feel like he's almost fine taking his helmet off in front of the child because he's like, oh, it's just a baby, and stuff like that. I don't think he registers it like if he was in front of another Mandalorian or another adult like alien or human or whatever. I think he treats that child differently, just like he did that robot, at the end of the day.
Because I think he loves Baby Yoda. We might sit here and say that he might not, but he cares a lot for that baby. That baby is not going anywhere without him. Even when he brings him to Ahsoka, do you think Din's gonna leave Baby Yoda? Absolutely not. I'm gonna sit there with you, and you're gonna train him in front of me.
That is actually a very interesting thing you brought up, right? He doesn't know what a Jedi is. They call them sorcerers. The armorer. So it's like, who's to say that he gets there and he just completely trusts Ahsoka right away? What if there's like some contention there,
And the armor made it sound like, and it was weird too because she said like evil enemy of like us or whatever, like a sorcerer enemy too. So it's kind of like you trust the armorer, I'm guessing, with his life, considering they probably known each other for who knows how long. But then Bo-Katan is saying to kind of trust in this person. So it's like, I wonder how he's gonna feel this
react.
Well, they were saying the children of the Watch, they do things really old school, like with the first Mandalorian the Great, which is a KOTOR reference, and that's back to when they had the Mandalorian Jedi War. So if they're doing things the old school way, then yeah, they absolutely see Jedi as enemies because that's what that whole time was about. Like they literally just went to war with each other all the time because they were like the two main warriors, the Force wielders and the Mandalorians.
But we do know that Bo-Katan was part of Death Watch. I don't know if she said it to him. I forget if she ever said that to him. Maybe I don't think she did. Like she was part of Death Watch. No, I don't think she said that. But with Ahsoka, like Ahsoka has more. How can I say it? Like Obi-Wan was there, connection to Bo-Katan because of Satine. But when Satine like got killed, like he wasn't on Mandalore no more. Like Ahsoka, I feel like she has a more connection. There's a deep story there with Bo-Katan and Ahsoka. How does Bo-Katan know that Ahsoka is on this planet? Do they still keep in contact? Do after the Siege of Mandalore, like Bo-Katan did not want to follow Palpatine's rule, so she gave up Mandalore. Mandalore, I don't know if she left. I don't know if she stayed. We don't know Bo-Katan's story. but there's definitely a deeper story with Bo-Katan and Ahsoka Tano. And I hope we get some action, not action, but I hope we get like a little epilogue, of Ahsoka talking about everything, what Jedi are. Because I feel like with Din, he's going to trust this Jedi. He's going to not trust her all the way, but he's going to go, you're the Jedi that I have to bring the child to. Like some dialogue effect of that. And she's going to say, well, I'm not a Jedi. She's going to say that. Like, we're all ready for that. Everybody as a fan is ready, has the memes out. It's out there that she's going to say that line. But what happens if she doesn't? She says, I'm the Jedi.
Here's the funny thing, because they've been surprising us a lot. What if she has already started like a new Jedi way, like a new order? And what if Mace Windu's just there already? No, I'm kidding. But that'd be interesting. What if she did?
Like, even with like when we get to this planet, like what is this planet about? Like, we haven't heard much about this planet. We could have read it. I think it's in a book. I don't know if it's like have 7 moons or something like that. It's one of the 7 moons, or maybe it is. I don't know what it is. But yeah, like what is she on this planet for? Is she just hiding? Is she looking for Ezra? But there hasn't been an Ezra connection yet that we know of. So like Joey said on my podcast, he was like, maybe Ezra. But I was like, I'm not going to say anything about Ezra yet because there's nothing to connect Ezra to Ahsoka or the Mando or the baby. But will Ahsoka train this child? I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I think she'll tell him. I hope there's a lot of dialogue between them. Like Dave Filoni has an hour script long of them just talking, because then I'll take that.
We get 45 minutes, so
yeah. And that, I bet you that 45 minutes you'll see 2 minutes of Ahsoka and see you later. All right, goodbye. But I hope we see a lot of dialogue with Ahsoka. I hope she tells him about, Darth Vader, Anakin, maybe Bo-Katan, brings up Bo-Katan, an old friend, maybe Obi-Wan. He tells him about Obi-Wan and Death Watch. Like she knows. She was, I don't, what season was she in Bo-Katan? I think season 3 they introduced Bo-Katan, or season 4, Death Watch and Ahsoka fighting Bo-Katan. So they have a little history there, even with the siege of Mandalore. Like, why was Bo-Katan in that city, trying to find Ahsoka? Like, you could have just found Obi-Wan, you could have found Anakin, you could have found any other Jedi, but you went after Ahsoka. So there's something there with both of them. And I hope, like, Ahsoka is nice. Like, I hope she hasn't become a bitch over the years, because she can get a little feisty. We all seen that in Clone Wars and maybe Rebels. We've seen her little feistiness, but I hope she doesn't get feisty. I hope she holds the baby, because I'm definitely taking a screenshot of that and posting that everywhere in the world and putting that on my face. Like I hope she definitely interacts with the baby. I think I want that, and I think Baby Yoda will definitely sense this is another Force user.
Mm-hmm. I almost feel like there's potential for a funny moment, actually, where he's trying to figure out, like, are you the right person that I can drop off? Can you do the magic hand thing? Like,
Can you do the Force?
I feel like he's gonna do something like just weird and funny like that, because he's like I said, he's so badass. But he's actually like pretty awkward, like with people, like socializing. So I feel like he's not gonna know how to like ask these things. He's like, do you know how to do the magic hand thing?
Can you wave? Can you show me your lightsaber? Like, pull it out. Like, do you have 2 or just 1? You know?
That'd be hilarious if you asked that just out of nowhere. Do you have 2 lightsabers? Like, they're just nodding, just winking at us. No,
because she does. In the end of, she does have 2, but we don't know if she has 1 in this realm of the world. Because Rebels, we saw her with 2.
Mm-hmm.
Clone Wars, she dropped 1. And yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm excited. I'm really excited to see.
She'll have 2 if we see her have a saber, because I think it would be a waste for her not to have 2 if she trained in that form and that is her specialty.
Yeah, but do you think her lightsabers will be a different color this time? Do you think they'll be blue or gray, maybe yellow, just like Rey's lightsaber was?
I hope they stay white, because it's just signature to her. I would really hope they just stay white.
Or they go blue, just like Anakin's were. and she just takes after her fallen master. You know.
Yeah, you know, I could actually see that her going blue again, because maybe she knows that Darth Vader has died now, and she's like, okay, well, let me, honor Anakin, because maybe she met up with Luke and found out that Darth Vader sacrificed himself. No,
No, I think good point you put up there, Will. That she has to know that the Empire has fell. Darth Vader has defeated. She always had to know that Luke was out there.
yeah.
You know, she had that Force. Maybe she cut herself off from the Force, but she definitely knew that there was another Skywalker out there. She definitely knew. I think she knew, and I definitely think she knows who Leia and Luke are. But we're not going to get that interaction. I don't think we'll never get that interaction. We might, you never know. But I don't think Star Wars will give us that satisfaction.
I don't know. Favreau and Filoni just might. You never know.
Yeah, I would love it, but
at some point.
What do you say, Joey?
I feel like they have to at some point. Like, that would make me happier than anything, is to see the Master's kids reunited with the Apprentice. Like, that's gotta fucking happen.
I
I don't
still
know how, but I feel like that's a thing that should. And it's weird because I know, Chris and me, I and Will and me, I've always mentioned Luke, but I mean, girl power with Leia and Ahsoka, I can only imagine what that moment would be like.
And Sabine flies in.
Yeah. Well, just the thought of like them kind of like, it sounds dumb, but like having like space cookies and tea, just talking about
some macaroons, some blue macaroons, get the baby involved.
Blue macaroon sounds like a song, by the way.
What do you guys think the likelihood that Ahsoka's not the only Force user there? That there might be a Cal Kestis or an Ezra? Because I don't I don't think Ahsoka would be in hiding for any reason. The Empire has fallen as far as they know. I don't think she would be hiding. I feel like she has to be doing something besides being a recluse.
And if she isn't hiding, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Will. You're speaking.
Oh, no, I'm just saying that if she isn't hiding, why would bo-katan just know exactly where she is, and why would she tell like this Mandalorian? Like, she just met him, and I mean, I understand he has Baby Yoda. Well, why she just tell him like straight up, like, oh yeah, she's there. I feel because she knows that Ahsoka, wherever she is, probably a pretty safe place. Which, yeah, honestly, like all these rumors and like how everything's going, I'm almost like, are there more Force users with her? Like, she started something, has she I feel like she's on this forest planet or something where it's like, that seems very like Jedi Temple-ish. Yes, like
that's what I'm thinking. Like, send all Force users you find to me. Like, I started another temple under the Skywalker lineage. Luke and I, we went away with all that bullshit about not having relationships. We got rid of all that stupid shit. Now we got the new Jedi. Like,
and what was Cal Kestis doing? They were looking for Force users. That was like what they were doing in that game. They were trying to find other Force users. They had the whole list.
Iden Versio to transport those Force users.
Dude, if we get that kind of fan service, that would be insane.
Oh yeah,
I'll lose my mind.
That would be great.
And the thing is, you could do it where it totally makes sense.
And that might make sense now, because remember I told you before, I don't really love when they use like more. I mean, he's not too famous, the guy who plays Cal Kestis, but I don't like when they use like famous actors for like characters in video games or whatever. But I'm almost like, maybe that's why they did it, because they knew that they wanted to have him, that actual actor, like be in a show or a movie or whatever.
Same thing with Iden Versio. Janina Javankar is awesome, but I feel like it wouldn't be too bad of I think Iden might make a background appearance, because the whole thing with her like saying, oh yeah, I played the nostrils on set of like a puppeteer. I'm like, did they ask you to do that after you did your Iden shit? Because like, obviously they never film in order. They go by what they have available at whatever time. So I'm like, it makes sense to see Iden Versio and even Del Meeko because they're all mocap, so it's their faces. So I
Mhm.
think it'd be kind of cool. Just like here's some more New Republic people. We kind of see that interaction. Here's the thing I'll throw out to you guys. Obviously, this is really a personal game with Mando and Moff Gideon, but it's also creeping around the New Republic and the remnants of the Empire. Is there gonna be a showdown where it's still the Mando versus Gideon and whoever the hell else, but there's gonna have to be New Republic and Imperial forces against each other in this too. So, what do you guys think this is gonna be a big showdown last episode?
Um, I think there will be not a showdown, but a fight between Gideon and Mando. Definitely, we're gonna definitely see that. We're definitely gonna see Bo-Katan again. I feel like Bo-Katan is gonna go after that dark saber and help Mando. I think she and Mando are gonna help each other. But going back before I answer this, I want to go back to the Ahsoka thing. Ahsoka, like you said, she wouldn't just be hiding. You know, and I agree with that. She just wouldn't be sitting around having a glass of tea and eating macaroons. She wouldn't be doing that. But I think after the fall of the Empire and she fought her master, Order 66, post Order 66, I feel like she still thinks she failed as a Jedi. I think she still feels like, I knew what Maul was saying, I could have did something. Like she must have a lot of regret with that. And then on this planet, like Will said, like how to, like I think he said something with Bo-Katan and in that realm, right? Will, you said something like that.
Yeah, like why would she know? And then why would she just send this? I mean, pretty much random Mando that she just met. Even if he
Yeah,
has the baby, why would she just send him there? She must think it's pretty safe. Yeah.
yeah. And I think with Ahsoka, I think I don't think she's in hiding. I think she went off to find Ezra and just stood on the outer rim. It was like, I'm not going back to Coruscant. Like I all thought like he's gonna send her to Coruscant. Like she's hiding with Taz and Ralpha or something down there. She's hiding in the evil world of Coruscant. Um, but she isn't. She's on this forest planet that we don't know what the hell she's on it for. Is she finding Ezra? Is she having forest wielding children? But I don't think she is. I hope you're right, Joey. I hope when I see it, she's using the force with all these children, and Baby Yoda's gonna come master it with us. I don't think it's that. I don't think it's gonna be that easy. You know, um, I don't know with Ahsoka. Like it's gonna. I can't wait to see the episode. We have like 6 more days, but I'm excited to see what she is and why she's on this planet and how does she tie into the baby. Because Bo-Katan does know something else too. If you looked at Bo-Katan's face expressions a lot, she knows about this child from somehow, somewhere. And like she knows something. She does know something. And I hope it's not to turn like Baby Yoda over to Moff Gideon for the dark saber. you know, because how is she going to get the dark saber back? Is she going to go toe to toe with Gideon? Like you in the Great Purge, she hasn't done that because she would have died in the Great Purge.
Mhm.
So she might have lost it, or maybe Sabine or Ursa. I thought Ursa was going to be one of the Mandos. I thought she was coming down, but she might be old or dead by this time. I don't know. Um, but yeah, Bo-Katan does know something more about Ahsoka and why she's hiding, and I hope we get that in Friday. So back to your question, Joey. What was the question?
What do you think the big showdown is? Because obviously there's New Republic forces and Imperial forces at work, but this is becoming almost like a personal vendetta against the Mando for having the child. So I'm wondering how much of the outside is going to impact it, or if it's really just going to stay personal between Gideon and Mando.
I think it's definitely going to stay personal. I don't think it's going to go into this big siege, like the Mandalore siege. Like we're not going to see all that, stormtroopers fighting Cara Dune and New Republic things and stuff like that. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're like what John Carlos said in interviews. Like he broke a lot of dark sabers, so he's battling. He's battling, or he's just playing around with the backstage, and that's how he broke them. But he's definitely going to fight Mando. The child is definitely going to get abducted, I think. I don't know how he's going to get abducted, but he's definitely going to get taken away again. And then Mando definitely has to get him back because no one's taking my baby, just so you know. And yeah, I think we're going to have a showdown, but we're not going to have a war. You know, we might have Bo-Katan back. You know, Ahsoka might join at the end. You know, where the hell's that other Boba Fett dude? Like, where's Boba Fett at? Like, we saw him once. He turned back. He was like, you know, fuck that. I'm not getting my armor back. You know, too far. You know, and that was it. You know, that's all we saw of Boba Fett. So we don't know if Boba Fett will come back. We don't know who will join Mando. I would love if Bo-Katan, Ahsoka, Sasha Banks' character, the other Mando, like the Mandos start going after Moff Gideon. I would love that. That would be an awesome war. All the Mandalorians versus a Mandalorian himself. I think Moff Gideon was a Mandalorian. I think Moff Gideon is not a Force user at all. Because I think he would have beat Mando. You know? I think he would have beat Mando. It would have blew Mando up because Force users are better pilot drivers, I feel like, right? You know, like he would have never got blown up, fell, had the dark saber.
Got down by clones.
What happened?
Plo Koon got shot down by his clone forces.
I know, that was so sad. Why do you have to bring that up, Joey? Come on, man. That's so sad. Come on, man.
Hey, I'm just saying he got shot down by fucking clones.
Hey, he was taken by surprise though.
Yeah, he was. He didn't know. Some of them didn't feel it. Like only Ahsoka felt it. Cal Kestis Master felt it. Yoda, Obi-Wan never felt it. Like I'm surprised, you know. Yeah. And that was really it. I don't know who else is out there still that would feel it, but those are like the top 3 Jedis that I know felt Order 66.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's a possible answer. That could be all the Mandos, the armorer comes back, like they just start fucking shit up and they beat Moff Gideon. Maybe not kill him because I don't think they will kill him because he has said about season 3, so he might be captured, you know. But I don't know.
I am actually going to disagree with you on this one because they've been setting up this whole time with the Republic pilots. They keep showing up, and I feel like they're showing up for a reason. And I feel like Mando's going to recruit them, and maybe Cara Dune will like be the one or something. She ends up joining him, and she's like, "I brought reinforcements," because it's like a classic Star Wars thing. I feel it's going to be like Mando fighting Gideon like one-on-one, but then there's like an army and like maybe these shadow troopers or whatever, dark troopers coming in, and he's like, "Oh no, this is bleak," and then all of a sudden, you know, his team just comes and swoops in and saves him. You know, you got Cara Dune and Karga and the Mandalorians and all these Republic soldiers come in to like help, you know, fight him. But I feel like that's what they're setting up for because he has like a whole, at least what we've seen, there's a whole room full of like the dark troopers or whatever. There could be much more. There could be many more.
We also have to realize those troopers. We don't know what they're made out of.
Yeah.
You know, we don't know if Mando's gun or Cara's gun or Greef's gun can work. You know, on those things. The only thing I can possibly know is a lightsaber, or actually going up there and like Bo-Katan, like fucking him up, just beating him up. But like Mando doesn't have that like skill. Like he could beat people up, but he doesn't. Like Bo-Katan, like she can kick everybody's ass.
So what, you know how they say that there's like not much Beskar left and it's very like rare? What if all of those robots are made of Beskar and that's what they've been doing? They've been getting all the Beskar and using it to make these troopers.
Dark troopers in their history are also supposed to be lightsaber resistant.
That wouldn't be good.
Yes, that wouldn't. Then the world is taken over. We should just end the season now. Like call it quits.
Like the only thing that I heard that makes them vulnerable, and it does look like it has it, is the cables or whatever that run between them are the things I guess that are like make them possibly weak. So yeah, I don't know what the other thing that I'll pose to both of you, because I'm kind of confused of where they're going with this, and season 3 has already been greenlit and confirmed it'll happen. What the hell is the end game of this show? Like, because it seems like Mando wouldn't ever give up the child point. And I'm also kind of curious now that they're throwing the whole wrench of like your identity of being a Mandalorian. Like, is the whole purpose of the show going to be to restore Mandalore? Is it going to be for the Mando to just kind of sit back, retire, and be a father? Like, what the hell is the purpose of this show? Is what I'm kind of wondering.
Good question.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't know. I remember when it first released, it's like, oh, this is a cool concept. I didn't expect it to be that deep, to be honest. I didn't expect it to go even as deep as it's going now with like the secret labs and like bo-katan and all this other stuff. I thought it was just gonna be kind of a interesting little standalone like space western about a bounty hunter kind of thing. But when it came out and they literally opened up with fucking him finding Baby Yoda, I was like, oh, okay. Wasn't expecting this. Yeah, so but I think from the get-go with this show, I'm like, I have no idea where the hell it's going because there's a lot of things that are put in here that I'm not expecting, and it's getting deeper and deeper. And after he answers this, we can talk about the clone stuff. But yeah, that's I honestly have no idea where it's gonna go.
What I think is gonna happen if the baby was never in this show, we know where it was going. We all would say Mandalore, take back Mandalore. We would always, that would be our go-to answer, all of us, I think, if the child wasn't involved. But we get the child, we get that he's force sensitive, definitely, at a very young age. He was born the same time Anakin was, around that time frame. So we get the child, we get his force using powers, he's used it, and he's not tired after he used it this time. He used it with the macaroons. He wasn't knocked out after that, because usually when he's using the force, he just falls to the ground and goes, all right, take a nap time, take nap. This time he didn't, so maybe he's grown a little into the force, that he can withstand some more, because to get those macaroons for him, it was struggling. He couldn't really get them up until he had them. But I feel like with Baby Yoda, he's not gonna die. He's like, we have these set like 7, 8, and 9, the movies. We have those movies. We don't know if they're in them. We see the Razor Crest, we see the Rebel spaceship, we see Hera's spaceship, in the Rise of Skywalker. But with the child, I think he's going to become a Mandalorian / Jedi, and I think that's a perfect way to end him. He's part Jedi, absolutely, because he's force sensitive. He's going to get trained eventually by a Jedi. It doesn't have to be Ahsoka. It doesn't have to be Luke. It can be like Cal Kestis. It could be Ezra Bridger. But there's nothing going to that. It's only Ahsoka for now. But with that, he's force sensitive, and he has part of Mando. Mando's not just going to say, here, take my child. All right, I'm going to be back. Go to the calamari, the Helen Kellers of the world. Can't fix my ship. Don't know what to do. He's not going to go back there because they can't fix the damn ship for their lives. But yeah, we're going to see Friday what happens. Friday I feel like will answer some of our questions that we are saying now. Is he leaving the child? What's the child? Is the child going to sense Ahsoka? Will Ahsoka sense that this baby's big in the Force? Because she's the only Force wielding maniac, what bo-katan calls them, alive that we know of. We know Luke's alive, but Luke's not going to show up. Luke is like somewhere off the grid, I think. I don't think we'll see Luke at all. But with the child, I think part Mandalorian and definitely part Jedi, or maybe Jedi. Maybe he'll become the next Master Yoda and start a new regime of Jedi. But I think with these 3 movies, we don't get that. We get Rey, and that's it. And they're focused on Rey versus Ben, through these 3 movies, and we don't see other Force wielding maniacs.
Yeah.
So where is the child? Where is Ahsoka? We know Luke's there, but where is Cal Kestis? Where's Ezra? Where's Thrawn? They do these movies and they just throw the movies at us, and we're sitting here like, bro, we didn't even get through the World of Worlds yet. Like, we're still on that episode. Like, what are you doing with Rey Palpatine, with Kylo Ren? Like, and then that's over now. Then we have a Lego Life Day out, like the World of Worlds. That just like the World of Worlds, you have Lego Life Day. We see the World of Worlds again. Now we see Darth Vader versus Rey. You know, like what? Like what are you people doing? Like it would me as Lucasfilm, I would be like bald by now in Lucasfilm. Like just thinking of ideas and like things that people want. We want this. You know, we want to know where Ezra is. You know, we want to know the Bad Batch. Like we want that. You know, we want a Ahsoka Tano live action. We want a Bo-Katan live action. Like there's so much story that they could tell from these people, and they're just going like, all right, we're not going to do that. We're going to do this. You know, this is better. We're filming in Dublin. We're going to go by the Leprechauns. You know, we're going to film in that place to make a new movie that we have no the fuck idea what the movie is.
Yeah, we didn't
No
write
idea.
a plan, but we're gonna spend $250 million.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Dublin, Ireland. Like, what the fuck? You having leprechauns like Lucky Charms? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, and the
Oh,
whole
man.
thing, like, oh, you guys wanted that, but we'll do the half-ass version called the High Republic. Like, give me the fucking old
Oh,
Republic.
what'd you guys say about the Republic? Oh, yeah, High Republic. I don't know what the old Republic is. We're gonna do this.
Well, right in this shit.
Revan. Oh no, we had this group in here, and they're called the Nihilist. And you know, there's that one nihilist person in the other Old Republic thing, but now we're just gonna have this group who has nothing to do with
yeah,
it. Maybe. I don't
it's it's like literally they're just doing anything because they can make money off it. Because people do it, people buy it. People are like, all right, you put a magazine out, all right, let's read it. Just like the Lego. Like it was
Yeah.
nice, it was cool, it was adorable, but that's what you got after the Rise of Skywalker. That's what you're putting. Like, come on.
Yeah.
We don't need that right now. We need to know where these other characters are. You know, we need to know where Ezra is. We need to know if Thrawn is still out there. We know we have all this backstory. Ahsoka, like Ahsoka's still alive, Bo-Katan, Sabine. You
Yeah,
know, we
they're
have all these characters that we need to know about.
they're kind of like Joey was talking about. They're kind of having the Mandalorian carry all this, and that could not be good in the future. You know, putting
Well,
like
Yeah.
this much
shit
on it.
pressure on the Mandalorian.
Yeah, because honestly, we're always here like talking about this, speculating and stuff. We're speculating like so many things that we don't know what the hell else is coming. So we're like, oh, they'll have Luke in this. They'll have Sabine. They'll have Ezra. They'll have all this because the Mandalorian is the only thing we can possibly expect anything from right now. So it's like, what, like who's gonna show up? You know?
I will
And
say, sorry to cut you off, but from a trusted source, there is supposed to be a Rebel sequel series, and there is supposed to be shows revolved around the characters Filoni created. I don't know to what extent. I
Yes,
heard
I've heard of that. I've heard
the
of that, Rebels.
thing was supposed to be announced at Celebration, but obviously, fucking COVID. I heard there was supposed to be a lot more show announcements at Celebration, but we haven't gotten them, and we haven't gotten them still just because production is halted on a couple.
yeah,
From a trusted source that mentioned the Bad Batch months before the Bad Batch actually came out. So I have a feeling we'll see that, and Filoni doesn't like to leave things untouched.
Undone.
Yeah, so I think we'll have. Sorry, Will, it's just because you guys
I know
kept.
that's all good. Yeah, no, that's an excellent point because I totally forgot about that. You said that before. I was gonna ask because you just brought up something, Chris, that now has me like I was spinning the wheels like this whole time because you said there was something very interesting. Baby Yoda was born around the same time as Anakin.
He was.
In this episode, we saw whatever the fuck they were cloning in there, which looked
Like
eerily a lot like Snoke.
It did.
And they were talking about M counts, which to me is probably midi-chlorians.
Yes, it is.
That's
Yeah.
definitely the
So I'm almost thinking is Baby Yoda was created. Was it created around the same time that Anakin was created? Was it made by the Force in the same way that Anakin was made? Is Anakin and I don't know if people might not like this or whatever because it was already a problem with Rey. But what if Anakin wasn't really the chosen one, but there were like actually other chosen ones? I'm just saying.
You
Like
know, like no, I believe what you're
chosen one.
saying, but he's definitely the
Yeah.
chosen one, Anakin. George Lucas has said that, and Dave Filoni has said that too. Anakin's the chosen one. We all know that. But what you're saying, like Baby Yoda, like maybe his, how do you say the word midichlorians?
Yeah.
Anakin's was 20,000 when he was a baby. You know, he could have defeated Yoda at that time frame, but he just didn't know how to use it. Qui-Gon was like, and Obi-Wan was so shocked, like 20,000, like that's a fucking lot. Like he has a lot. And then as he grew up, you know, he could have had this potential to be the best Jedi ever. Like screw Rey, screw Kylo, screw everybody, screw even like Mace Windu and Yoda. Like he had them outnumbered. You know, his Mandalorian count was so high that like, all right, so at like 7, how old was he? Like 11 there or 10? Like he could have beat Yoda by then. You know, and then he just grew up and then he fell to the dark side. Not dark side, but he got his legs chopped off by Obi-Wan and burned. And then he wasn't his full potential. You know, Darth Vader could have been this biggest villain ever, but he just lost, you know? I love Anakin. Anakin's one of my favorite characters, you know? But I think with the child might have a lot more midichlorians. You know, he might have 20,000. We don't know.
Yeah.
They took tests on this child already. We just don't know his account.
They're saying his M counts were really high apparently, and all this stuff. So it's like that was interesting that they brought that up. And I told him, I mean, you keep saying this. They're bringing things from so many different sources. Like, who would have thought they would have brought up anything having to do with midichlorians ever again? And I think it's actually good that they changed it to M counts.
Yeah. And I think with the clones, I feel like we're going to see a clone. We're not just going to see Boba Fett. I think we're going to see some clones. I don't know when we're going to see them, but if you're cloning, you're going to clone a clone. You're going to go to, I don't know if Camino's not alive, right? Still, Camino's done, right? It got blown up or no?
Well, I think the Camino, I think, is still around, but I don't think they're producing clones because the genetic line, they had no more left to use. I think that's why they started phasing out.
Jango Fett's dead.
Yeah.
But then you have Boba Fett still out there. You know, you have Baby Yoda. Like, we're all saying Baby Yoda's a clone. I don't think he's a clone. You know, until they say to me he's a clone, then I don't believe it. You know, I think he's just.
I was thinking he was a clone until you said what you said. And now I'm like, what if he has his, whatever you call the race that Yoda is, what if his mother just spontaneously had a child too, just like Shmi Skywalker, you know?
Yeah, magically. Just like how Palpatine orchestrated Anakin into the stomach of Shmi, you know? Like,
yeah, it's like, what if Palpatine did that with one of Yoda's race? Because he's like, oh, I can make a Sith version of this, you know? Because like, how do they know about Baby Yoda? This remnants of the Empire. So it must have been already like some sort of thing. Yeah. And obviously we know that Palpatine has been working on this cloning stuff behind the scenes. So he can clone himself and all that. Or try to clone himself. So it's like, yeah, how do they know about Baby Yoda then?
And everybody knows about him. Like everybody, I think bo-katan even knew. Like even bo-katan knew about this child, and they didn't even bring it up. Like she just had the eyes for it. Like she knew something was up a little, you know? So I think everybody knows about this child. Everybody has that tracker, but we haven't seen anybody track the child yet. I don't think. I don't know what like remote they use for the tracking. But the baby's still getting tracked. You know, now we have the Razor Crest tracked. You know, it's tracking us to Ahsoka now. You know, we might not see a big fight in that episode. We might just see how Baby Yoda may use the Force. We might see some Baby Yoda Force using. You know, is he comfortable? Here's I hope she gives him a lightsaber. Please, Dave Filoni, give Baby Yoda a damn fucking lightsaber. Please. I would definitely take a screenshot of that. Like maybe, you know, we don't know, but I definitely think Baby Yoda is not a clone. I think with Snoke, they're definitely cloning a Snoke because Palpatine is dead by the time this is all done. Palpatine becomes a clone afterwards. Yeah, dead. He got thrown down a fucking elevator shaft. He's still alive, the old wrinkly old man. Don't know how. don't know.
Bullshit.
But definitely.
I'm just kidding.
But definitely we're gonna see more about this cloning because we see them. We see on their shirts that they're cloned. That these people are from the cloning people. You know, we see that. So there has to be more cloning around. And, you know, maybe they're cloning a new chosen one. You know, like maybe they're cloning the next Sith, you know, because Kylo Ren to me wasn't a Sith. You know, he wasn't evil. He was just a sad, lost boy, you know, that followed in the footsteps of something wrong.
Well, see, this thing, people are saying that Rey's dad is apparently a clone of Palpatine. So
I could see that, but they were nobodies though. That's the point.
yeah, he didn't have the M counts, so they obviously hooked that one up.
They were nobodies, and then Palpatine was a somebody. You know, how does even Palpatine didn't even have children. You know, he cloned his children. Just say he had clone children. The clones were his children. Let's be because how could Rey be Palpatine's grandfather? Palpatine wasn't banging people. You know,
I hope not.
I hope not either. I would be disgusted.
Yes.
Oh my god, that would look so wrong.
Politician.
God.
Yeah.
Unlimited power.
No, but we watch Revenge of the Sith. He's old. Rey wouldn't be alive in that time frame, you know, or unless Rey will be 100 years old or 60. You know, she looks like she's a teenager in the Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and then The Rise of Skywalker. You know, so we don't. So I guarantee you, Palpatine's just a grandfather because it was his clone, and his clone dated a woman, and they were nobodies like they were, and Palpatine said that they were nobodies, and Rey was like they're nobodies too, and she's just been the Force because she's Palpatine. That clone had Palpatine's power, not power, but Force. The little Force.
In fact, I could see that being maybe the issue. Maybe they're trying to figure out how to clone him, and none of these clones are coming out with the power of the Force.
Yeah.
And the only person who does is Rey because he actually goes find somebody, they conceive a child, and that's where that goes, you know. So I wonder if there's
you can inject someone.
Experiments. Yeah.
Even going back to the Shadow Troopers, the Shadow Troopers I have here are Force sensitive troopers that get Force sensitive blood, you know. So and they wield the power of the lightsaber, you know. So we're going to see some more lightsaber action if these are Shadow Troopers. We don't know if they are. We don't know what these things are. You know, they could be a new droid that we do not know of.
Yeah.
You know, we don't know, but I hope we find out.
They could just take the idea and just make it something new, but some similar to something that used to be. So yeah, we don't know.
The world of Star Wars.
So many possibilities.
Yeah,
I'm glad
so
they're
many.
exploring. I'm glad they're exploring all the possibilities, though.
We are, because then we're the first people that said it. Yeah. You all could suck it now because we said
it here first.
We said that. We heard it here first.
I'm just watching real quick the episode with the closed captions. It's saying because the actual words are saying is the body rejected the blood. I'm guessing Palpatine's. And then it says, I highly doubt we'll find a donor with a higher M count, though.
See, what that got me tricky there because I didn't know what they were talking about. I didn't know if they were talking about the child.
Yeah. Because
or they were talking about someone else.
We still don't know who the original body for Snoke was either. We have no idea.
Yeah.
So I'm like, could they be talking about that? But then it's how old would the Snoke person be? But even in that first episode before they decided that it was Palpatine, Snoke was saying I've been around before even. I think he said he was there basically before all of this shit happened. So it's
So Snoke could be out there, Snoke, he died. We don't know he dies though. But we know that he's still out there. He's alive in this time frame of Star Wars. But I didn't know what they were talking about with the child. We couldn't get more blood from the child because it would die. So I don't know if they were talking about because it was that transmission was 3 days ago. So the baby has been in Mando's possession for a while. So it couldn't be the child. It had to be someone else they were trying out. And we just don't know who it was.
Unless they're just finding all sorts of Force sensitive children, just trying to use their blood to clone or to try and revive Palpatine or something. Because obviously we all know that even when we see Palpatine in the sequel trilogy, as weird as it was, he's still kind of like a husk of a. So obviously whatever they're trying to do, none of it is working the way it's supposed to.
And it also says that it's talking about another donor, and it's confusing whether it's talking about the child as the donor.
Yeah.
Or somebody else. But it's saying if we exhaust all possible, because it says I recommend that we suspend all experimentation. I fear that the volunteer will meet the same regrettable fate if we proceed with the transfusion.
Volunteer.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
so they're like, I feel like they're volunteering people, just random people. They don't even have to be force wielding people. I think they're just trying to find ways to have more force sensitive people to train them to be Siths. You know, like I guarantee you, like Kylo wasn't the only Sith. There were so many more, and there's still Sith out there, even after the rise of Skywalker. There's always going to be evil out there. I don't know who said that. I don't know if it was in Star Wars. I don't know if someone just told me it, but there's always going to be evil. Evil's going to come again in Star Wars. That's just how it's going to work.
Darth Maul had a secret child.
he, he got the red devil onto someone.
Him and Asajj had a little thing on the side. Nobody knew.
Yeah, like you never know. You never know if we might see. I don't know if Asajj Ventress is alive in this time, but I would love to see her. She's dead, right?
Yeah, she got killed by
Dooku, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
In Clone Wars or just somewhere else?
I think it was in the book.
It was supposed to be in Clone Wars, but Dark Disciple, because when they had other arcs planned out, she fell in love with Quinlan Voss, and Quinlan Voss fell in love with her, and then she sacrificed herself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that, but she was all right. Asajj Ventress.
I liked her a lot.
I did too.
Yeah, she fucking dead. But now I'm very curious because it's like I feel like there's got to be more Force users intertwined with all of this because it's like all of the Inquisitors I doubt just fucking up and died and dropped dead. So it's like maybe they're testing other Force sensitive people. I doubt, especially from the conversation. I'm pretty sure that Baby Yoda or the child was not created. I'm pretty sure they just found him. They probably the most powerful Force user was Yoda. Go find something like it. And
that's interesting that I just thought about, and they could do this because he's already part of Star Wars so much. Sam Witwer, he played Starkiller. I'm not saying they make Starkiller exactly how it was in the game, like canon, but maybe there's a version of him, and there's already talking about clones and shit. So
I'd be happy with that. I love Starkiller.
They've already given us like things I didn't expect, so they could just be like, hey, "Yeah, you know what? This Starkiller guy." They probably wouldn't call him that because there's a Starkiller base now, but yeah,
But just like what Joey said, like Joey said this on my show, and I think he said it before earlier in the show. He said that I think I said too. I said that we only saw 4 episodes of the trailer. What the hell is in the other 4 that we have not seen yet? What is to come? We know Ahsoka's in the next one, absolutely. But what happens after that? Who's showing up next? Or if someone's not. How is this season going to end? Because I have no idea. This season is on it keeps going up. Then we meet Ahsoka. Like I'm surprised that doesn't stop. That Ahsoka is just 1 episode. Who's in the other 3? Is bo-katan coming back? Boba Fett? Is Ahsoka coming back? What are we going to see Ahsoka again? What's going to happen to these characters that are from Clone Wars, and now we just see them in an episode, and then like bo-katan, all right, we're gone. Okay, she's off to find the Darksaber. That's great. What's Ahsoka going to do? Just going to stay on the forest planet? And if she says I have to find a friend, we all know that's Ezra. That's leading to something else. But maybe she's not alone. Maybe she has Sabine. Maybe a clone. Maybe we'll meet maybe clones will meet from Clone Wars that are still alive in this time frame. But we'll see.
Before we finish this up, and I know Joey will like the idea of this. I don't know if you'll think it will be possible, but what do you think the chances are we see Kenobi? Because I feel like we didn't talk about that at all.
Why? Okay. I love the idea, but no.
He's dead.
I mean, he's dead, but
unless
so many people,
Ahsoka is reaching out and giving us the Force ghost that we fucking deserved.
Yeah, and he's just so connected to all of this.
No.
to the Mandalorians with like Satine, like with even Ahsoka and like Anakin and everything. And I still think it's possible we could see Anakin too, because I mean now we're getting Ahsoka, so I don't know.
Potentially in flashbacks talking about them. And I have 3 questions for both of you, but go ahead, Chris.
We're definitely going to see them in the Kenobi series when the Kenobi series is coming out. We're definitely going to see Ahsoka. We're definitely going to see Anakin flashbacks from the Clone Wars and stuff like that. We're definitely going to see that in the Kenobi series. But now I don't think we'll see Kenobi unless Ahsoka will mention Master Kenobi and Master Anakin Skywalker or Sky Guy. Unless she's going to mention them, I don't think we'll see them. I think if we see them, holy shit, I might shit my pants. As a Force ghost, I might die inside a little, but I don't think we're going to see that much. I think this episode coming up is going to be hush hush, 1, 2, 3, because these episodes have been very fast paced. I feel like I watched 40 minutes of it. I feel like I'm only watching 10 minutes of it. That's how fast paced these episodes are very going. But no, I definitely don't see. I may like I said, a mention. But maybe when Ahsoka tells them, like, listen, this is what happened, Kamino, Order 66, blah, 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 Master Kenobi, stuff like that. I think that's all we're going to get. I don't think we're going to get I don't think we're going to have, maybe if we see a flashback, that would be awesome too. But I just don't think we're going to get all that nice, awesome stuff.
That's fair.
I have a couple questions for you guys. 2 are Ahsoka related, and then I'll leave the last one. But is she only in one episode, do you think? Or do you think, because the one thing that I'm keep thinking of, because there's rumors of her having her own show, there's rumors that she's just in this one episode, and then there's people like, oh, she's gonna die. I'm like, there's no way you fucking bring her into live action just to kill her off.
I would fuck them all up, Joey. They're gonna be Helen. By the time I'm done with them, they're all gonna be Helen Kellers. That's how like I will fuck everyone up in Lucasfilm. I would get arrested because I heard the same thing. Someone made a video on that. She's not going to die in Mando. Why would you even make a video on that?
Yeah,
she's not going to die in Mando. Like if she dies in Mando, then we want our monies back. We want our Disney Plus subscription money back. We want all the hype gone. Someone's not going to report Ahsoka Tano in the live action and say, we're going to fucking kill her. Let's kill her. So that's even out of the question.
I don't even want to ever see her death unless it's...
I don't want to see it either.
Because it's like, I think it's cool just not having it happen. And plus, too, if it's going to be played by anyone, you better give Ashley Eckstein the respect to have her just die in an animated thing. Like, don't give it to someone who barely stepped into the role.
Yeah.
The other thing, too, is like, I know they're kind of probably testing the waters, but does this mean, do you think we're seeing her more in one episode, both of you? And do you think this is the only live action Ahsoka will ever get? We're not going to get a series live action anyway. What do you guys think?
You're saying, do we think there's not going to be a live action or like her own series or?
Yeah, do you think after Mandalorian is done, will we ever see her in live action again? Or do you think this is it and she's just having a pivotal role for this time?
No, they're not going to miss out on that money, man. I'm just saying. I think it's absolutely, that's probably the main reason why they're introducing her in here. And I almost feel like, because we're talking about Baby Yoda and how that threw a wrench into this whole story and how we thought that we would have known where this is going before it came on. But now Baby Yoda, we're like, I think they threw a Force sensitive in there for those exact reasons, so that there's reasons to have other like Force sensitives in there and Jedi. So I think it's honestly like we're definitely gonna get Ahsoka. I think we might get a bo-katan series. Maybe they'll be in the same series. I don't know, but we'll see.
I don't know. Bo-katan, I think is a stretch.
So my source, like I said that they're all getting a live action. Boba Fett, Bo-Katan, Sabine, and Ahsoka. That's what my source has said. I don't know if that's true. I know Boba Fett came up in the news maybe a couple weeks ago that he will get a live action. I don't know if that's true or just it's rumors. But I know Rosario Dawson's contract has signed up for a multi-year deal with Lucasfilm. So that means she can play live action Ahsoka in Kenobi, and then more of her live action. So I definitely think we're definitely getting a live action of Ahsoka. I don't know where it's going to be placed. Don't know. I hope between the episodes after she faces Vader, because we don't see her after that. Maybe with Sabine, live action Sabine, or that's what the Rebels, or that's what the Rebel spinoff show is about, going to find Ezra and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I do think she is alive in the Rise of Skywalker. You know, I'll always say that. I'm a huge Ahsoka fan to the day I die. You know, but I don't think she's dead because she's the light side of the Force. You know, she is the sister of the light side, you know, and she keeps it in check, like everybody says, because Rey has a yellow lightsaber. She's a god. Bitch, Ahsoka would wipe the floor with Rey. Let's be real, people. Ahsoka would not even touch Rey. Rey gets poked in the head by Ahsoka, she's gone. You know? But with Ahsoka, like, she is the light side. You know, she's the light side of the Force. If she dies, like, you know who I really want to see this Friday in that episode with Ahsoka? My little old friend, Morai. Like, Morai is an important character in Star Wars, and that bird does not get a lot of credit.
I
You
think
know?
it's possible for sure.
We were actually saying that in the last episode. We think that they're going to introduce her like that.
And
Where,
the
like,
bird,
we see that bird first, and then it's like, Ahsoka, you know, and then we just know, like, okay, man, here she comes.
Yeah, I really hope, because I did ask my source, is Morai in it? And he didn't. He was like, I don't know. I don't really know that.
like
So I was like,
what?
yeah, I know. Like, I would love to see that. You know, I would love to see Morai in it, fly around. Like you said, like, he always flies around when Ahsoka is in danger or someone's coming. You know, we see in Rebels, we see in Clone Wars, like when Vader looks up, Morai's right there. You know, we see in Rebels, like, Ezra didn't save Ahsoka, the fucking bird did. Like,
Yeah.
the bird, like, was up top, and the bird was like, like, look down, motherfucker, and it was like, and then it's like, you see that. So I hope we get I hope we get Morai. I really hope so. And then yeah, so I think Ahsoka will be alive. I think Ahsoka's definitely getting live action, and I don't think she's gonna die getting shanked to death. I think she's gonna go the way, you know, what Luke did. You know, that's how she gets there. But I'm not going to get into this now because I don't want to keep going with the time frame and everything on the show. But, like, the World of Worlds is very important, people. World of Worlds. You know, it's very important in Star Wars that we have not expanded. You know, Ahsoka could just go back in time and be like, bitch, I'm 25 now. You know, I'm not 60. You know, like bo-katan. She could go back in the World of Worlds and be like, she's 50 in this time frame. Katie's 40. You know, and she doesn't even look 40, Katie. She looks like she's in her 30s, you know? So, and bo-katan's supposed to be 50 in this time frame. She ain't 50. Like, she looks like she didn't age one bit from Clone Wars or Rebels, you know? So, it is, I think Ahsoka will be getting a live action and is alive in The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
And then, to go off of what you said, Chris, do you think it's possible Mandalorian will explore the World of Worlds? Because I think it'd make quite a bit of sense. My also reasoning is kind of like, there was this one theory that was floated out, is like, there's all these potential multiverses you could go with, and somehow fudging it enough to where 7 and not through 9 is just a potential reality, and that it might switch. And someone also, I saw another theory, I don't think this will happen, but how they said Baby Yoda is just fucking Yoda, but they have to throw his ass back in the right time zone because the Emperor was fucking around with the world between worlds. He tried to get Ezra and Ahsoka at that one point. So maybe other people that know how to activate it, and maybe Ahsoka's on one of those, like one of the gates where you can enter, and maybe she's protecting it or something. She knows about it.
She does know about it. She definitely does. And, like, she's the right person to go to if you want, like, help in the Force. You know, she's up against Palpatine. She was up against Palpatine, Anakin. She's up against everybody. Everybody she know and loved. You know, she didn't love Palpatine, but, like, I'm just saying she's up against these powerful beings. You know, she is the light side of the force, and I think the World of Worlds. I think we'll explore it. I don't think Mando will explore it. I do not think, and I think Baby Yoda is just another species of Yoda. I don't think it's a world between worlds thing. I don't think, but you know that World of Worlds opens a whole new subject in Star Wars that we have not discovered. But I've discovered it. I fucking discovered it. You know, like no one cares about this episode at all. This episode is not talked about. This episode is not even cared for. It's not even people's top like episode. This is one of my top episodes in Star Wars because it's so important. I can pull out Joey from this timeline and bring him here. I can pull out Will from eating breakfast to going to a dinner party with Shia LaBeouf. You know, like,
Okay.
like
At first, I was like, "Hey, don't stop me from eating breakfast." But if I'm going to a dinner party, well, then that's fair. Okay, all right.
like it's it's just that good. Like in some time frames in the World of Worlds, Anakin just stays Anakin. You know, he's never Darth Vader. You know, Qui-Gon is never dead in the Phantom Menace. You know, these World of Worlds is just like that. Like Ahsoka got pulled out. Like anybody can be pulled out. You know, it would be weird to see like Anakin Skywalker in a new trilogy. You know, like 100 years after his death or something like that, you know, but I understand because it's the World of Worlds and Dave Filoni opened this world and just was like, you know, I'm going to leave it open and never close it.
I think there's definitely a lot of interesting possibilities with the World of World that they could do. I don't think they're going to explore it in this show. If they do, maybe like a little bit, like how they're kind of giving this stuff like the labs or something, like kind of in the background of what the main story is. But I do think they're going to have some other shows of some kind, and there's going to be a Rebels sequel series most likely. I feel like they're definitely going to explore it in Rebels, especially if they find Ezra again. Like Ezra obviously knows about it. He literally used it to pull Ahsoka out. And I think that it could possibly, I don't know if they would actually do it, but I think it would lead to some very interesting, like just imagine a scenario where they use the World of Worlds, like Rey or somebody. She goes back and she like fucks something up and she ends up bringing fucking Anakin through to the fucking beginning of Force Awakens. And they fucking meets up with Kylo. And he's like, grandfather? Oh my god!
Like, well, you know? That's what you have the Lego series. Did you watch the Lego Life Day?
I didn't watch that yet. I was thinking it'd be interesting to be like in live action.
That will definitely answer what you just said.
Yeah.
That totally happens in that. You know, it definitely does. But we don't see. I'm gonna spoil it for you, but it's okay, Will. It's only a little spoil. We don't see Ahsoka in there, and I'm very upset that we don't see Ahsoka in there at all. We don't see her like with Anakin or anything. You know, she's not even mentioned. And I'm like, yo, the fuck? Like, she's most important. She's important here. And she's not even in the series. So I was very shocked when I didn't see her in it. Even in the trailers, I didn't see her. So she's not in it.
I will say, so when Lego Star Wars has to create something, they have to run everything through Lucasfilm. Sometimes what ends up happening is they don't do things in the Lego Star Wars thing because Lucasfilm is doing it in something else. So it's possible that, I don't know, I feel I like the idea of the world between worlds, but I also hate it because it's like
kind of a cheat code.
That I'm glad it brought back Ahsoka because I wanted her to live more than anything. I hated thinking that she was dead at the hand of Vader. It sucked. But then she was back. But now it creates this problem where it's like, well, when the hell can we use this? When should we? What are the
And who can use it?
Yeah. What are the rules of using it? Like, is there a multiverse for Star Wars like Marvel where it's like, oh, we can reset it? Then it's like, then what's the point of fucking canon? What is canon then? So it's like, I'm not a big canon diehard for the most part. I really don't give two shits as long as it's great storytelling. So I'm like, please retcon 7 through 9 so we can get something better with those characters. Like, that's what I'm almost hoping happens. I don't think it will, but I wouldn't mind if like they changed something and then an alternative universe, like, oh, the trilogy is actually this. This was like a bad timeline, 7 through 9.
It was all a dream. Nah.
It was all a dream.
I'd be okay with that explanation to get rid of those movies. Or at least 8 and 9. You can keep 7. But
Right at the end of Force Awakens, when she finds Luke, all these people just drop through the fucking wall of the worlds, and it's right there like, no, don't throw it. No. Don't toss it behind you.
it's like, grow the fuck up. You're Luke Skywalker. Bye.
Like, what the fuck, man? Why are you hiding on this planet, man?
No dying from Force usage. Just fucking go there. Just fucking go there. Don't hide out. Just go there.
Let's go to Tatooine. Get your lightsaber. Let's get over here
and dance with some Ewoks.
There you go.
At a first order barbecue. I mean, but yeah. Any final thoughts before we get too crazy?
Yeah, good episode, man. This season's gonna end up really well.
I hope.
Well,
I think we spent like the last 30 minutes just speculating, really, instead of talking about the episode. But it's fine. That's how it goes on the show. It's all good.
it's all good. Last thoughts. I hope we see Ahsoka Justice. That's it. That's all. I'm excited. Just to see my baby again. You know, I can't wait to see her live action. I've been with this character, like I said, for probably 10 plus years. And, you know, I might not know everything about Ahsoka, you know, but we're always finding out new stuff. You know, she might be something new. You know, she might learn something new that she can all teach us or teach Mando or the child, you know. But I hope Dave Filoni does her justice. And Friday's right around the corner, people. It's coming. I'm staying up 3 a.m. I don't care. I'm watching it because I'm East Coast. So you guys get it at midnight.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I get it at 3 a.m. I don't know why. Fucking assholes.
Damn.
Yeah, and I stay up. And I stayed up for this past episode because I was like, she's not going to be in it, but maybe she'll be at the end. Because I thought she would be at the end, you know, once they got back. And I was like, there's like 6-7 minutes left. I was like, maybe we'll see her.
Yeah, I thought that too. And then there's a bunch of credits. I was like, oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, we saw Moff Gideon and his little Wits theme song. Like when in what's that damn movie? Dorothy. What's that movie?
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz.
The Wizard of Oz. We see that little witch theme song that Moff Gideon has, and then that's it. You know, that's how it ends. So I'm like, all right, so we're saving it all for this week coming up. But yeah, that's my last thought.
Do you think, and just final question, just say yes or no, will we see her at the very beginning of the episode, or do you think it's going to take some time to see her?
Yes.
I think we'll see her mid episode.
All right. I say
because
in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think they're gonna throw us a bone because they didn't show her at all this last episode.
No, I think Mando's gonna fly the ship, and I think Moff Gideon's gonna track him. You know, track him to the planet. You know, that's gonna take maybe 10 minutes out of the show. So right in the middle, we're gonna see Ahsoka. Ahsoka's gonna help Mando maybe escape. You know, I hope not, because I want some dialogue between them. You know, maybe she's the next episode after this week's episode. You never know. You know, so I think definitely in the middle. I hope she's in the beginning, like you guys are saying, but it's going to take some time. I hope, because the Razor Crest is already off to that planet. So maybe in hyperspace he is, you know, maybe, I don't know. But I hope we see her in the beginning, but I think she'll be in the mid episode, just like when bo-katan came. That kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
And it's
That's
like,
fair.
I was like, Disney Plus, can we vote to just drop all the fucking shit at once so I don't have to keep waiting?
But I like how they do that, though. Like some shows like Netflix just drop it all in there. And there you go. You can't discuss, really. You can't discuss any of the episodes because it's all dropped at once.
Yeah.
It is fun to discuss every week.
Yeah.
I have a love-hate relationship with this shit just because it's like, so when the episodes are like really slow and you don't get to anything, then you have to rewatch everything. So it's like,
I feel your pain.
Yeah. Anyway, that'll be it for us this week at Jabbering Jawas. It has been a shit show, but a fun shit show. With your host, me, and that guy, Will, and that awesome guy, Chris, joining us today.
See, well, I'm awesome, Will. Get that.
Yes, you are.
May the force be with you all.
Always.
Always.